What's up, cyberspace cadets? It is Irate Prostate. It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for another ice cream. And you know, ice cream is a special gift that we give ourselves occasionally. It's a nice treat. And today's bowl is we got a bowl of your boy Pat, and he's definitely an awesome guy. I've streamed with him several times before, and you know, I want to know more about Pat, and I hope you guys do too. So hang out and sit down, grab you something to drink. Pat, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How you been doing, Irate?
Dude, I'm hanging in there. You know, the same old stuff. Different day. Just trying to, you know, what's the old word? Every day above ground is a good day, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we were giggling and shit before the show started. We're just having some fun back here. So what I usually do is, you know, I'm very interested in people, and especially people on YouTube. So the first question I usually ask people is, you know, what is the main reason that you decided to start doing YouTube? What made you just say, hey, I'm going to do some videos?
All right, what started with me is like, it started like back in 2014 when I had like, was like starting like college up here, because, you know, I'm like a little culinary chef. So it's like I do catering and all that right there. So I was going to school for that.
Nice.
And this was during the time when, I didn't know nothing about this at first, you know, when all the whole Anita Sarkeesian, the feminism and all that yada yada was like kicking off real hard, and I didn't know that it was that crazy in the schools. So when I was going up to school, it was like this one crazed feminist that I had met, and she's all around just basically, you know, smash the patriarchy and the wage gap and the gender equality, and you know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah.
So person like me is confused, like, what in the hell is this girl doing? So I go and I start asking her questions about, you know, like, what is she doing? What's all this feminism and what is she's all about? So she starts, you know, she answers like a couple of my questions, but by the time I got to my third question, she had got irritated, like, oh my God, why you asking me all these questions? Don't you see about the patriarchy and all this? I'm like, I just want to know, because you sitting right here acting like a fool with all this, and I'm trying to find out, you're trying to get people to fight for your cause, but I'm trying to see what kind of cause I'm fighting for, you know. So she got really upset.
It's like, you brought it up, man. You know.
Yeah. So it's like I'm challenging her, and I guess, you know, she just doesn't like that. So it's like, oh my God, see, you're the problem right there. It's men like you, the misogynist and the patriarchy. So I just like, hey, it takes one to know one. It's like as soon as I said that right there, she shut up, and she paused right there for a little bit, and then after that, she took off. So after that right there, I just went looking up on the internet and all this right here, like, what the hell is all this all about? So I got to getting on YouTube, and that's when I started seeing all this crazy stuff with Anita Sarkeesian and the Zoe Quinns and, you know, feminism and anti-feminism. And I started seeing like a lot of these anti-channels, like people like Baron and Sargon, and, you know, like a lot of people who I watched before. Like there was this one person who really got me into it. Her name was like the Woolly Bumblebee. Well, she's like flip. Yeah, she done really flip mode now. Mm-hmm. And she was the main one out. She was like the first one I talked to about this whole entire thing. And that's what really got me all into it. So one day I'm just like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of seeing all this and seeing all this praise. I got to put my 2 cents on it. So one day I just, you know, just grabbed my camera and grabbed my phone, and I just brought down, like, my first video was like an hour long. It was just me just babbling, just talking about a whole lot of things that I saw that was going on and the reason why I'm doing this. So that was like an hour long, and I started doing that like little by little, and most of my videos were just me just talking. And so I talk and I upload, but I didn't know how to like network or anything like that. So what happened was, a person by the name of Feminist Flow, he had saw one of my videos, and he's just like, hey, I like what you're doing right here. And it was like, is it okay if I use a couple of your videos to like shield on my channel? And then there was another person by the name of Beware of Darkness, and he did the same. So they did that right there. Next thing you know, I woke up the next day, I had like 200 subs. So I'm like, where did this happen?
Hell yeah.
So everybody's like, hey, I like your channel, you know, like you really make some sense. So like, keep on doing that. So that inspired me to make more. And so little by little, I started growing a little bit. I started meeting a whole lot of people, and you know what I'm saying, own up to this day. And here I am.
Well, man, so yeah, you said what, you're doing this going on 3 years now?
Yeah, it'll be 3 years come January.
Wow, so you've got this thing down pat. So what about your, you know, you rock a certain couple of avatars, and one of them is very, very popular with the ladies. You want to tell us a little bit about that one, man?
Oh yeah, that one right there. Because at first when I started out, my first avatar was just like me doing like a little two-face thing. Like it just had like one regular side, and then another side just had like me with a mask. I called that side Psycho Rick, because I was going to kind of like do like a little two-face thing where one person is making some common sense and the other person is just basically talking like, oh, he doesn't give a damn about disrespect and all that right there. So, and plus I was kind of making him kind of like a little sci-fi character. I got a few videos on there called like doing like little creepypastas or doing like stuff in the whole Psycho Rick voice.
So, cool, man. Man, I gotta check that out. I honest to goodness didn't know you had those type of videos, man. I gotta check out Psycho Rick, man.
Yeah, they're not that popular because, you know, everybody comes to like my main channel, like, you know, to basically, you know, hear me talk about, my political stance on a whole lot of these things with feminist SJWs, the whole Black Lives Matter thing. When I did Black Lives Matter, oh, that's the one that really ruffled some feathers, man, because I talked about Gazi Kozo, and you talk about some people, man, like, oh, I'm so happy to hear a black person's point of view stance on this, while other person was like, oh, your coon, your sambo, yeah, oh, you know how that goes.
Damn, man.
I got them, and I just laughed them off. Everybody who just came at me with their feelings, and I think that's what really made them really mad, because they would expect me like, well, forget you, and I don't care, you know, like come back to them with my feelings, but I'm just like, hey, if that's what you think I am, hey, I don't care what you think about me. I'm still gonna continue to say this. And they were just like, well, man, we can't get a rise out of him, so I'm finna leave him alone.
Right. You know, it's like I tell a lot of people, you know, facts aren't, feelings aren't facts, you know, and they're not directions either, man. You know, we don't have to do, you know, because our initial, you know, emotional reaction, you know, tells us one thing, and then we, you know, realize after we examine something that we're totally wrong. You know, and that feeling was, you know, kind of, I don't know, kind of I'm having a hard time with the word. It was kind of false. It's not false, but, you know, deceptive in maybe a way. Yeah. So you're really doing a good job with this thing, man, because you're kind of threading into some stuff. Before we go, though, you got to talk about, all right, your physique and everything, because did you play sports when you were a kid, or tell me about that.
Yeah, growing up, it's like I lived in the country like until like up to my 18th birthday. That's when I really started exploring things, because after I graduated, I went to the Army. But at that time, I was like I was exercising. I was like working, you know, like living in the country. I was like working in the fields, you know, like on farms and things like that. So at first, you know, I was very, very small. I was like a little tiny thing. It's like I had lean, you know, I was lean and I was cut, but I had nobody's size on me. So I was basically like, you know, a ripped toothpick.
Oh wow!
So when I went to the Army though, that's what put a little size on me. So I started going with that a little bit, and then I started getting into wrestling. Like once I had served like 8 years and all that. Yeah. So
like Greco-Roman wrestling, or like the W wrestling.
Like the wrestling, like the WWE style.
Oh
like
wow!
Doing that right there. Yeah, I had actually went down there to train in Ocala, Florida under Dory Funk Jr. And it's like I tried to go like, you know, pro and things like that. Like when Tough Enough came out, I tried for that, but you know, I just wasn't ready for it. So I did a little amateur, a little bit, you know, like here and there, until, you know, my left knee kind of gave out on me, and it's like they told me they just gave two options. Like if you try to do anything with that bum knee, it's like one good hit in it and that's it. You're in a wheelchair. So I'm just like, God damn. So it's like I still love wrestling. I love watching it. I wish I could have did it, you know, like you know, before my knee gave out and all that right there. But I started, you know, finding other things. So it's like if I wasn't doing wrestling, I was into cooking. So that's why the reason why I'm kind of like a little culinary thing right now, because I love to cook other than watch wrestling.
Well, so what's your favorite kind of dishes to cook?
Oh man, I'm down here in the South, so I love soul food, man. Texas, you know, with the barbecue, and plus, you know, like being around my mom, she done hooked me up with so many things to like make up with the black eyed peas and the chitlins and the collard greens and you know the mouth watering soul food.
Food.
And,
that's just food to us, man. In Alabama, we're just like that's you know what people you know. But that's what tickles me so much. You know, it's talking about you know cheese grits and shit, man, and butter beans, you know, and I was talking to somebody about that the other day, man. You know, it's just stuff that you know people are fucking missing out on some really good, you know, vegetables and stuff, man. It's just,
I'm saying, man.
You know, so good, man. That's awesome, man. I'd love to. You know, I'm gonna glom some knowledge and some recipes from you when we get off air, man. All right.
Oh yeah, so it's like so basically, like, you know, to count all that soul food and try to keep the physique that I had, you know, I had to start getting into exercise because I think it was like when I had moved to like Minnesota because I had got like a good job opportunity up there, and plus I had met my last girlfriend, and I just like one day I just looked in the mirror and I just kind of saw myself. This was this was like back in like what, early 2014. I just looked at myself and I kind of saw myself just getting that, you know, that big old pot bill, and I'm just like, I got to do something about this because this ain't me. So at that part right there, it's like I just took that before picture of me, you know, like Billy just sticking out, and I mean, I just got to like, you know, looking up on these diets, and I went up on, you know, like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You're like the wrestler. So it's like he had like one of his diets where he did like for the movie Pain and Gain. And so I looked at that right there, and I'm like, well, shoot, if I want to get my stuff back, I got to do this right here. So I did that diet down to the T, and I mean, God, all the food I had to eat, and then those exercises. I mean, at first it was hard to do, but it's like once I got like the first 3 weeks in, it's like I started getting used to it. And it's like every day except for like Saturday, that was like my cheat day where I could just like eat anything I want. But the next day I had to do like twice the work. So I ended up doing that for like one straight year, and I mean, dropped everything and then put on 20 more pounds of muscle, and that's the physique y'all see today.
Wow, dude. So that you know, it's interesting because, you know, people don't understand that to lose weight, you have to eat a lot of food at, you know, a lot of the right foods at the right times, right? And it's counterintuitive. People, you know, it doesn't make sense, you know, when people, you know, when you tell them about that stuff. But
so what they fail to realize is that just like you're eating all that food, but plus when you're eating all that food, plus with the exercise that you're doing, it's like your body is going to be breaking down all that food right there, and all the protein and everything that's packed all into it that's good for your body. It's going to be using that to be feeding your muscles up until the physique you're going through right now. But if you eat all that food and you don't do anything, well then you're going to blow up until like this holiday.
Well, all right, here's something I like to ask people. Is there a food that you hated when you were a kid that you love now?
Salmon.
Oh, what? Salmon?
Like
the croquettes?
The thing is, no, I don't know what it was. I could eat salmon croquettes, but like salmon by itself is just, I just could not do it. Like for instance, like I don't like tuna when it's like cut into it. Well, I didn't like tuna when it was cut into like a certain thing. But like tuna fish, yeah, I could just kill that all day, every day. So I guess it was just like my taste for like a certain thing. But like my mom, she would like cook like smoked salmon or something like that. I wouldn't eat it. But salmon croquettes, I'd put those on a piece of bread, and man, it tear it up.
Damn, I'm wanting some now, man. It's like shit. That sounds good, man.
But when I had to start working out, I had to eat a lot of salmon, a lot of cod. I had to eat like a lot of chicken breast.
Fish is good stuff, man. It's really good for you. So all right, so you were in the Army, did you say?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What was your job, and what was basic like? And tell me a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, we're in the army. I joined in 1995. As soon as I graduated from school, like I didn't have nothing else to do, and plus, I grew up poor, so I didn't have like money for a scholarship, and I didn't have the right grades in order to earn one. So I just, like hold on, let me get my words right. So one of the recruiters, they came, Army, Air Force, and all that right there. All of them came to the school and just interviewed us, and I just like, hey, the Army sounds good. It was either Army or the Marines, but then I looked at the Marines, and I'm like, damn, these bastards hardcore.
So. Yeah, I was going to say a good friend of mine that I started the Creem stream with. His name's Akam. He just signed up and he ships out the 18th. If you got any advice for him?
The only thing I can tell them is like this: it's like they're gonna shout at you, they're gonna stay on you, they're gonna do everything they can, just like, and you're gonna think that they don't give a damn, that they don't care about you. All they're trying to do, they're trying to toughen you up. They're trying to make you into a soldier because, like when it comes, like if you have to go to war and you have to fight for the country and all that right there, you have to be a battle heart and you have to be tough as nails. You can't go in there with no feelings, no nothing like that. They are trying to make you into a soldier, and you don't understand that at first when you're joining because you're not used to that type of thing. You're not used to that type of discipline and people are coming at you like that. So it's like once you get used to that, and once you realize that these drill sergeants aren't out there like to kill you or act like they don't give a damn. They really care about you, but they want to turn you into a soldier, man. They want to turn you into somebody who loves their country so much, man. They will fight and they will lay their life down.
Well, right, they're trying to make you, they're trying to make it to where you will survive. They're trying to help you stay alive.
Yes, they're trying to help you stay alive.
That's great, man. It's like I really like this guy, and it's like when he said he signed up, I was like, oh, yeah, at first, but it's like he can handle it. I think, you just got to stick it out, right?
Yeah, if he just toughens up, he just listen. I'm saying he listened to what they have to say, man. Give his all, knowing that he's gonna fuck up from time to time. They're gonna be up in his face. What it is, like I'm saying, man. Don't get into your feelings. Don't do nothing like that, man. Just always know that, man. They don't hate you. They just trying to make you, they're trying to toughen you up so you can survive, man. If you ever have to go to war. Because I'm gonna just tell you right now, going over there to I went to Iraq, and let me tell you right now, even though I was just on there for basically like voluntary and like helping out and all that right there, it's like that shit is scary, man. Like being over there because you never know what's gonna happen, you never know what's gonna pop off, and they tell you to. Sometimes they just tell you to shoot, and you just have to point and shoot, man. Like I had to do, and it's like.
So you went out. Whoa. Where did Pat go? Well, we seem to have lost Pat. Let's see what if we can get him back in here. It was riveting. Hey, man.
Oh, accidentally.
What happened?
That's what I'm saying. Like I was talking, and all of a sudden, it's like everything just kind of, just kind of went blank. Well, where'd I stop off at?
You were talking about about when you went to Iraq, and you didn't you weren't there very long, but you did see a little bit of action. Did you say?
Oh yeah, I saw some action, man. It's like they just told me like where to point, where to shoot, and I'm just like I'm just like shooting, doing everything I can to survive and stay alive. It's like I don't know if my bullets hit anybody, but it's like, whew, I'm pretty sure it did. So it's like, I try my best not to think about it. But to anybody who comes to me and tell me they're thinking about joining the military, and I'm like, join it for all the right reasons. Don't join it because I'm joining the military because I want the money for college. Like, like I said. The money is, I'm saying that's one of the benefits of being in the military, but join it because you want to fight and want to defend the country for love of country right there. Don't just join for all these beneficial reasons because you will get ate up.
Yeah, you gotta be focused on the reason that you're there because I think you're right, man. If you're not focused on the reason, and just you hold on to that, I think that helps a lot of people get through that. So yeah. All right, so let's hop down. Let's go back to your childhood a little bit. And who would you say was the most influential person during your childhood?
I said the most influential, like I said, besides my mom, it had to be like my two brothers, because they basically showed me what not to do, because when they were teenagers, they kind of like went down the wrong path, got in trouble with the law and all that right there, like they weren't serving their time, but when they got out, they told me like all the dangers and all they're going right there, and everything that they used to do, they was always on to me, telling me like not to do it, stay in school, that you're too smart to be doing stupid stuff like this. And I kind of listened, but I kind of didn't listen, because being a little teenager growing up, you have your moments where you screw up.
Well, yeah, you think you're bulletproof and 10 feet tall, man. You're youngin', and
until something happens and you realize, I want my mama.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, yeah, how big is your family?
I say, my family was like, we had, my mom had 7 kids. She had 3 boys and 4 girls. I'm like the sixth of the bunch. I have like a younger sister, but everybody else is like way above me.
You're baby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got away with shit, didn't you, man?
Well, kind of, like I said, until it came to my, like my baby sister, and then that's when, that's where most of my trouble came in, because everywhere I had to go, I had to tag her along. It's like I wanted to hang out with like my guy friends, but like my mom would always make me bring her along. She'd always do some stuff and and she just angered me so much, and I end up bopping upside the head. So she goes and tell Mom, Patrick hit me, and I get whooped.
That happened to me too. It's like my baby sister was a freshman when I was a senior, man, and I had to drag her to parties and shit. And it would be like, oh my God, it's like, yeah, it was hard. It's hard, yeah. She was a good cock blocker, I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying, man?
No, those were my high school friends. Oh my God, the story's right there.
Oh, you got a favorite one you wanna share with us?
Well, like I said, like oh man, I think the main one I could think of was like, I would say we were 17 years old, and it's like that was this one girl. I'm like, oh my God, she was like let's see, she was basically one of those girls, like she was really easy. Like, if you got her by herself, it's like, yeah, you were a very lucky guy. But somehow a couple of my friends had found out that, cause her and my baby sister, they used to hang out. So, sometimes they would come over to the house and things like that. So one night, while my folks was like, going out, like partying and things like that, it was me there, and then she had brought her over. So I'm thinking like, all right, you know how me, 17-year-old, horny ass motherfucker. So I'm like, oh man, I'm really finna try to work on something. And all of a sudden it's like out of nowhere, boom, 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 knock on the door. It's these two fools. I'm like, it's like 10:30 at night. Like, what the hell y'all doing knocking on my damn door? Somehow they found out this girl was over here. And I mean, yeah, and as soon as they, like, oh, we just come over here and hang out. Yeah, 10:30 at night. Right. Yeah, what's the real deal? Like, oh, hey, we didn't know you was over here and things like that. So they come in, they tripping out. And I'm like, motherfuckers.
Were they like expecting you to share, or were they just like there to fight?
I guess was. Like, oh, I know what he's trying to do, because they know exactly how she was too. Yeah. So they're like, so we finna sit here and we finna act like we finna chill out with you, because that's what it was. It's like, if it's one-on-one, she would do something, but she ain't finna do no gangbang nonsense. Yeah. So yeah, nothing happened that night, and all of a sudden it's like around midnight, like my parents came in, and all of a sudden, like, well, we finna get to the house, man. We'll see you tomorrow, Patrick. And I'm like, I'm gonna get you. You son of a bitch. As soon as I saw them next day, they just laughed and like, to kick y'all ass.
No shit. I like to ask this question too. If you could talk to yourself at the age of 8, what would you say to yourself?
Oh man, at the age of 8, like what was I doing at the time? Well, at that time I was still doing like watching anime and all that right there. And first thing I could say, like, God, some of the decisions I made in life, I'm just, well, damn, where'd I start? If anything, it was like, you know, like once I started like graduating, I finished with the army and I started doing like my little wrestling thing. Was like, you know, to avoid this and to avoid that. Like I told you, like after I got out the army and after I had, you know, hurt like my knee and things like that, I was also, you know, like having like my first daughter, you know, like she had just been born. And like I told you, I love my kids more than anything in the world. And like I said, if I had to turn around, like I said, I'd do it all again. I just basically do things different.
So how many kids you got now?
I got 3 altogether, man. I got 2 girls and I got a son. You know, like my oldest girl is 17 years old. She's a senior this year, so she's gonna be graduating. My son is 14 and my youngest daughter is 13. Right now, she's out there, you know, talking to her like a little cousin.
Okay, man, we're going to have to talk after this, man, because you got some kind of like fountain of youth shit going on here. You know what I'm saying, man? So, if you think about it, was there a moment where you realized you weren't a kid anymore?
Yeah, that had to been like when I was like 23, 24, that's when like real responsibility started kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, like after I got like out of the military and I just started doing like you know, I had to like get a job and, you know, had to do all this, had to take care of family. Plus, like this was after like me and my first girlfriend broken up when we you know, we had our child. You know, so I had to take care of responsibilities and things like that. Plus, you know, so child support started kicking in, and so it's like I'm sitting right here, I'm seeing like all these huge garnishments, you know, being taken out of my check, and I'm trying to like make it work out on my own. So it's like between that, you know, like paying child support, they're trying to, you know, fix myself, you know, it got really, really hectic, man. It's like, you know, that's when I knew, like, you know, reality started kicking in. You know, I was an adult. I had to start being responsible. I had to start taking care of myself. But, like, you know, I just didn't know how to handle, like, being used to, like, you know, making this type of amount of money. And now I'm getting all this taken away, you know, like, from, like, garnishments and child support and things like that. And plus, you know, at that time, I hate this door. And plus, at that time, you know, I had met another girl, which is my youngest daughter's mom. But at that time, you know, like when I had met her, you know, it was kind of like a little fling thing. But me being a dumbass, falling in love with any girl who ever said hi to me at that time, you know, like, so we had like a little thing, and to find out, you know, like she had a boyfriend and he had just gotten out of boot camp. So when that happened right there, she was just like, well, it's been fun, but bye. So that kind of like, you know, like broke me down, you know, like got a little depressed and all that craziness. But as time went by, I got over it. I started doing my things again. She ran back into my life. So I'm thinking like at first, like, you ain't finna do like how you did last time. But unfortunately, you know, hell shit, pussy. So that happened, and well, you know, it happened again. And after that, by that time, man, a whole lot of a downward spiral started going around. It's like, you know, she had broke up with me again. I had lost my job over some craziness, you know, and all that right there. So a whole lot of bad luck started hitting me at one time, and I'm just like, you know what? I can't do it. I can't take it no more. And I mean, you know, evil thoughts started going through my mind, started contemplating suicide and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And that's when, you know, that's like I told you, because, you know, that's what it was. All that responsibility was hitting me, and I just wasn't ready for it. And, you know, when you reel it down that week, that's when all that, you know, them wicked thoughts start hitting your mind, like, you know, like, hey, end it, you know, all that right there.
You sound like my mama, man. Yeah. No,
so
you
then
know, she said
go ahead.
Same exact thing. You know, it's like you know, when things are out of whack, you know, the devil starts talking to you. You know, she tell me and stuff. And, you know, it's like you know, no matter how you put it, you know, it's a similar thing. You get negative, you get depressed, and you start talking to yourself in a negative way, man.
Yep.
You know. So. So what turns you around from that?
And that's what happened. Basically, like I said, you know, a lot of people they started seeing me all down and out, and they can just see it onto me right there. So, you know, like my mom and, you know, everybody, you know, who was all around me, they just basically started talking to me. They told me to get away from that town for a little bit, go back to my old hometown. So I basically went back down there, started talking to a whole lot of people, started talking to like a local pastor at there, you know, like got into the church and started basically, you know, turning my life around, and I started doing a little good right then and there, you know, started doing good at my jobs. And like I said, you know, at that time, you know, that's when I ended up having like my third child, which is basically, you know, by the girl, you know, who had W roll, but it's like, that's old news. So after that basically went down, you know, a lot of stuff started happening. This is around 2009. I got a little, you know, offer up there in Minnesota. So I went up there, did that for like 5 years, but a lot of stuff broke down. So I came back down here, and, you know, that's when I basically, you know, like when I came back here in like 2014, that's when I went to college, and I'm like, you know, I'm finna go and try to do this little culinary chef thing. And that's why I got, you know, the little counter with the feminists. I started doing YouTube, and this is where I am right now. So it's like, it's been from on up into this life, man. It's been one seesaw ride.
So, all right, you just talked about your home. So what is here now for you? You don't have to be specific. Don't dox yourself. Right now, I live in Texas County, Texas. I'm not worried about doxing. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, like, I live in Texas County, Texas right now. But before that, I lived in like a little small town called like Tom, Oklahoma. It's like a little flyby town. It's like by the time you realize, like, hey, there's Tom, like, huh, where? Because you done flew by it, right? Is that like Tom? Is that like Tom, like the dude's name, Tom, like Tom?
Yep, like that's how it's pronounced, like Tom. But it's like when I was a little kid, it was the best place to be because everybody was there, man, from adults to the kids to the school went to. It made you think like, man, I can't wait till I grow up so I can start enjoying this. But it's like as soon as I turned teenagers, like I don't know, everything just kind of died down because all the teenagers turned adults and everybody had moved away, and so all the fun had went away. So I had to find it elsewhere. So when I went adult, like I told you, I had to go to the Army. I had to go to to Texas County where I'm at right now. I had to like experience other places to like find this excitement. But it's like every once in a while we go we'll go back down to Tom, Oklahoma, like a little reunion. Like everybody who used to live there will come back down there, and man, we have the time of our lives because everybody was basically family there.
Wow, that sounds like an awesome place, man.
Oh yeah, especially like during the summer, man. Like, man, everybody get together, they get to cooking, barbecuing, and just thinking about all the times back in the day. It's like, if you could see it, I don't know. I have to record it one time and just put it on YouTube. Like, yeah, this is everybody I grew up with right there. You'd be like, oh man.
So, all right, what's your favorite thing about living in Texas?
My favorite thing about living in Texas, oh man, barbecue.
Now you talking about beef, barbecue, or pork, man?
Oh man, I'm more into the pork barbecue, man. But the beef has really got it good. I gotta ease up off the pork because
Yeah, but it's so good, man.
I'm saying, man, especially when you smoke that boy real good, man, and hit with that barbecue just right, it's just like.
And you smoking it with what? Hickory?
Yeah, hickory.
Nothing else, man. Applewood, fuck that shit, man.
No, I don't do the applewood or the mesquite or nothing like that. It's got to be hickory. Now, there are some people I've seen do it with mesquite, and I'm like, all right, that's got a good taste to it.
Yeah, they got to know what they're doing. Yeah, man, because I had some applewood one time. This dude didn't know what he was doing. It tasted horrible.
That's what it is. If you don't know what you're doing, that's just like, oh, no, that's horrible.
I'd rather eat a log, you know? What was your least favorite thing about Texas?
Let's see.
Now, now or just whenever.
I don't know. Like, kind of hard. It's kind of hard to think now. Like, I don't know. I think my least favorite thing about it is like, I don't know. Like, even though I grew up in Oklahoma and things like that, so I'm a Sooners fan. Like, Chagrin.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and her kind of like, you know, go back and forth with that right there. Like, oh my God, how can you live in Texas and you're a Sooners fan? I'm like, I'm so sorry, Chagrin.
Wow, so you are an NCAA football fan. Thank God.
Yes.
Yes, man. See, I'm a Bama fan, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I've been Oklahoma Sooners all my life because that's the team I grew up on.
Yeah,
so it's like,
man.
Just because I moved to Texas doesn't mean I get switched and things like that. You know.
That's absolutely right, man. No, Oklahoma's got a great tradition. No, fuck.
Mm-hmm. No, so it's like I'm a Sooners fan, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan.
That's right. There you go, man. Okay, so you touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to kind of explore this with you. Did you ever like vote Democrat?
Yeah, I did.
Or more, I'll say liberal, okay? Because you know. And what made you change? What was it about? And then what kind of reaction have you gotten? You touched on that about with the video stuff. Well, what about, you know, the people that you live with, that you hang around with and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause the way I grew up, it's like that's everybody just basically said, you know, like, oh, black people just vote Democrat because this is how the way it is, you know, like. And at that time, you know, I never questioned it because I never had no reason to until a lot of things basically happened. I think what really got me was like Obama's second term. Like, you know, like his first term is like I voted for him because the person he was going up against at that time is like I just didn't like his politics at the time. And of course, you know, like I'm not gonna say I fed into the whole, you know, like first black president and things like that, but I'm not gonna lie and say that a tiny bit of that, you know, like. Man, I would love to see like the first black president, but compared to the person that he's going up against, it's like I just don't like his politics. So I'm gonna vote Obama, and so I did that right there. And of course, you know, like Obama won, and all of a sudden, man, you know, oh, the president is black now. We can do whatever the hell we want. And I saw a lot of ignorance going around, you know, like, oh, you can tell black people nothing because that's the first thing that came out of their mouth. Oh, the president is black. We can do whatever the hell we want. And fuck y'all white folks and all this right here. And I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. But then the second term, yeah, because like I said, that's when he went up against McCain and all that right there. Right, and I love how Democrats are loving McCain right now, but when he was going up against Obama, they would be like, ah, fuck McCain, he's this and that and all that. And I was like, oh, you love McCain right now because you can't stand Trump. Yeah. But his second term, you know, he went up against, you know, Mitt Romney. And for me, Romney was basically like, you know, like, vote for me, you know, like help the rich get rich and the poor, all that right there. So I'm like, he really ain't doing nothing for me. And another thing I noticed about those, you know, that, you know, a lot of people who sit up here shouting all Black Lives Matter and all that right there were actually, you know, like saying they were gonna vote for Mitt Romney and, you know, fuck Obama and all that right there. Like there were people like Nicki Minaj and all these, you know, all these black hip hop artists. They were all for Mitt Romney. Now all of a sudden it's just like, you know, like, oh, we gotta stick with black folks and all that right there. So I started seeing a lot of that crazy hypocrisy, and I'm like, really? Like this is how we really went down, black people. And of course, you know, after Obama served his, you know, 2 years and things like that, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they finna go back to being racist. They finna go back to being this and that. And I'm just like, no, this is some bullshit. So I started looking at the politics, and of course, you know, here we go. We got Trump and we got Hillary. And Hillary is just like, vote for me. Black Lives Matter. Vote for me. Let's make history. Vote for me. I got a vagina. And I'm like, nah, bullshit. So when it came down to voting, and everybody like, oh, who'd you vote for? Who you vote for? I voted for Hillary. I voted for Hillary. Patty, who you voted for? I voted for Trump. Really? You black? How you gonna vote for Trump? Don't you know Trump is this? Don't you know Trump is a racist and he's a neo-Nazi and all this right here? So I started questioning people, and they didn't even have the answer. I'm like, why is Trump so bad in your eyes? I'm like, how is he such a bad person? You know, with this and that. They couldn't answer it. You know, they just like, he just bad, he just horrible, he just this and that. And I'm like, so why you get mad at me because I voted for him just based upon his politics and everything that he said he wants to do for the world? Because, you know, you black and black folks don't. I'm like, oh, so that's it, you know? It's because of my skin color, you know? So since I'm black, I automatically got to vote for the the Democrat and all that right there. Right. I'm like, that's bullshit, and that's what's wrong with us right now.
Yeah, it was, you know, it's interesting because when I grew up, it was like, I remember one election, and I don't remember which one it was, but I asked my dad, I said, who are you going to vote for? And they looked at me, both my mom and dad looked at me, and they said, that's none of your business. And I said, well, why wouldn't you, tell me that? And they just said, because that's a private thing. You know, and so you got me thinking is what it is. You know, the whole fucking virtue signal thing, you know, from Hollywood and all that shit. So, you know, it can be a real turnoff, man, and it's in the double standard part, that whole part of it. So, you know, I just, you know, I know you know, it's just like people. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just very difficult. And, you know, you gotta vote. You gotta vote your with your brain and not your heart or your dick.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I'm saying now.
Yeah.
And for what I basically saw at this election is like, be quite honest, you know, shoot. When I saw it was between Trump and Hillary, it's like I wish it wouldn't have been between neither one of them and things like that. But when they basically came down to it, I voted for the one who I felt like had the best politics and who I felt like really wanted them saying, you know, like who really wanted the job as president. It's like, to me, Hillary just wanted it just for the whole history thing. Like, you know, oh, the first woman president, I'm gonna be in the history books and all that right there. And then when it came down to it, wasn't gonna do jack shit for the company, but just basically sit up there, give speeches, talk about this and that, and, you know, and not do nothing for the world. It's like, I just didn't feel like Hillary was just, you know, she wanted the job, but she didn't want the job.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because it just seemed like, you know, that she just like, well, I deserve the job because I don't, you know, it's just like, yeah, I think everybody got that vibe off that shit, you know?
So, like she was entitled to it because she was a woman.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. What's your opinion of the alt-right?
The alt-right is basically like, when I look at it, it's like between the whole right and left thing, it's like both of them, you know, both sides have their good, they have their good points right there. It's the crazy ass extremists on both sides that really get on me, you know. Between, you know, the alt-right, between the extreme alt-right and then the extreme, you know, the extreme radical left. Like, you know, both sides have lunatic fringes, and when those lunatics get to talking and things like that, they make either side look bad, and that's what we basically end up doing. It's like I met a couple of liberal people who I'm really cool with, like, you know, like Thorn Midnight and So Fame. Those are two of the coolest motherfuckers I have ever met. Now, even though they're liberal and all that right there, it's like you could still talk to them like, you know, about politics and things like that, and they won't go all radical extreme. Like, you know, like, I hear what you're saying right there. Now that's what I can deal with. But when you get them crazy motherfuckers on both sides, who are just basically saying this and basically saying that, especially like, you know, like I you know, you see my Twitter and all that right there, I will be quick to call out the radical left. You know, with all the
yeah, keep going.
Yeah, with like all the crazies talking about, you know, like, you know, the alt-right is neo-Nazis and all this right here, you know, and then how they support Antifa, you know, and all this right here, and how they quick to jump on anything, you know, to virtue signal to try to make one side look bad. And then it's like, you know, you look at people on the alt-right, you know, who are, you know, some of them are these, you know, these crazy white supremacists, you know, and they get out and they start doing their things, and they start speaking like a whole lot of things, and, you know, and they start, you know, like backing up Trump. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, President Trump really has like a bad reputation, because, you know, there are actual white supremacists out there who support him, and that's who everybody's gonna use. Like, see, these are all these Trump supporters right here, all these Creem, white supremacists and things like that. But then they look at somebody like me, who's not a white supremacist, who's not an extremist, and who actually supports Trump. But of course, I get called every bad name in the world.
Right.
But I told him, like, you got to sit up here and you got to look at people individually and just not look at, like one crazy person and be like, see, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with that whole side right there. I had to learn that myself. And that's why I said, I think people like Thorne and Sofang, who are liberals, and they, and they talk to you in like a straight way. And I'm like, you know what? I can get that right there. And that's, that I can understand.
Yeah. And Thorne and I, see, man, personally, I know this isn't about me, but it's like I'm one of those people that I think it's more important to think than to vote like as a block, because I think that what we got in Washington is such a huge problem that there's really not two parties, but there's one party with two faces that just lean a little this way and a little that way, right? And I have to do stuff on it, just a piecemeal, case by case basis, Yeah. And that that's just I don't know what the hell happened, man. But anyway. So moving on. Let's see. What do you think about gay marriage?
Gay marriage. My thing is like this: if it makes them happy and they not hurting anybody, man, I'm all for it. Good. Now I'm like, love, love the person who you love. Now I know, being a Christian and all that right there and what it says in the Bible, that that ain't right. And I'm like, in the end, well, they just basically gotta take that up with God. It's like, we all got to be like judged individually, but it's like, because I got gay family members and all that right there, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Absolutely. Now some of them are assholes, but it's like I got a few of them that I'm saying, like, they'll talk to you, they'll help you out, they'll do anything right there, to help you, like, if you in your time of need, and they cool. So it's like, if you get gay people like that, I'm all for it. But the ones who sit up here and try to demand that you accept them and accept this and accept that, those are the ones that work my nerves, because they give the ones who are actually, looking for, acceptance, equal and all that right there, they give them a bad name. The ones that sit up here and try to force you into it.
Yeah. And it's I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, man. It's just like love is I can't judge that. So all right, going in a kind of a different direction. So are you now married, or are you out there in the dating world?
Nah, I'm still in the dating world. Sad to say, here I am, like, hit the 40s, and I'm still out there looking for Mrs. Right.
Well, okay, so what's that like now for somebody in your age group, trying to date out there, man? This is crazy, the hookup.
It's difficult, man.
Yeah, I bet.
Especially for me, it's like, cause like I'm 40, like I have a job, I do good for my life and things like that. But a lot of the women who are attracted to me, it's like they see my physical appearance, they see like the physique, the muscles and all that right there, so they thinking like, man, he's sexy, he's all right there. So they get to talking to me. Then they hear my personality, and that's what, like, well, damn, you ain't what I thought, because I guess they expecting like this big muscled up, like playboy, and, like this bad boy and all that right there. Right. And they see like, I'm this black person who actually has some sense into his mind, and that's like a huge turnoff for like black women, any type of women, because even like I've got hit on by a lot of white women, and they like they like the black guys, like the sexy, like well-toned black guy. But they're also expecting that bad boy. So it's like, once they see, like my personality doesn't fit the physique that they were thinking of, it's just a huge turnoff for them. So that's been kind of hectic on me.
You wouldn't think that would be the case, wouldn't you, man? That sucks, man. So you'll be in my thoughts on this shit, man, because there's somebody out there. My mom's mom used to say There's always a fool for a fool. And
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I'm saying? You know, she's saying there's something for everybody. And
I get hit on all day, every day, man. But it's like once they hear what I got to say and all that right there, like, hold on now, you make a little too damn much sense. Like, I want you to be like, oh, girl, fuck you, bitch. I'm doing me. I'm a bad boy. You know, Now look at wife in the chat talking about I don't look 40. Well, like I said, I got two girls, who are hitting like their teenage years and they're going to proms and things like that. So I gotta have these guns to scare the boys.
So you got a favorite weapon that you like to take out? And
no, that's what an uncle does. Her uncle's the one who likes to wave like the empty gun and things like that. And I'm like, Frank, put that down. This ain't about the. But it's all right. Now look here, boy, right here. Now I'm the gentle one. I'm the good one compared to the old crazy ass right there. But let me just tell you right now, you treat my daughter right, or otherwise you see these guns right here and things like that. Yeah, don't forget, I used to be in the military, so I can do a little stealth.
That's right. You know how to use that damn thing, man. That's excellent. That's excellent. So
and my daughter be like, Dad.
Oh, gosh. So all right, do you have like a favorite book or anything that you like to read or watch that
my favorite book, like, even though like right now I can't stand the author, man, I love the Harry Potter series. Now I'm not ashamed to say that, even though I can't stand J.K. Rowling right now because of bullshit, virtue signaling that she's doing right now. Yeah. She can write a hell of a good Harry Potter book. Yep. So I love reading those. And like I said, when it comes to like watching stuff on TV, it's like, well, besides wrestling, I'm mostly into Netflix right now because my job, really keeps me on a whole lot of things. So a lot of these shows that come on, I'll get into them, but then I have to work one night and then, I end up missing that episode, and there's hardly anywhere to get back to it. So by that time, it's like, damn, I done missed this episode, that episode. So I'm like, shit, I'm lost.
Well, so you got anything you saw recently on Netflix that you want to mention? Anything specific?
Let's see. Besides watching a lot of anime, it's like I watch a lot of I watch a lot of crime things like like Forensic Files and Investigative Discovery.
Oh yeah.
Those things right there, because they really interest me. Like like things like the First 48, how they be like solving crimes and how they did it. Like that's some smooth stuff, that forensic science.
Yeah, but especially back in the day when they didn't have DNA and shit, man. It's very difficult, to find people.
Catching somebody like 40 to 50 years later, I'm like, damn, that shit happened like back in 1960.
Or back then when they called them with fingerprints and shit, man. So that old school way of looking at stuff. So. What do you have, like a guilty pleasure? Something that you're kind of ashamed to admit it, but you love it.
Oh man, is hentai a guilty pleasure?
Oh, hey man.
There's some good hentai out there, though, man.
Yeah, man. My deal is that if it wasn't any good, man, there wouldn't be a market for it. All right.
I'm saying, man. And sometimes, like I said, I like to watch hentai because, like I said, like some of the women on there just, even though, like I said, they're just animated like crazy, like with the big old bouncy titties and all that right there. It's like I love watching it. I love watching it in Japanese though, because anytime Japanese women are having sex, they always sound like they're crying. So it's like, and I just be having a ball with it. But it's
that's funny as shit, man. Oh Lord. Oh man. Oh, so do you have a favorite YouTuber, man, that you think is just criminally undersubbed that you hadn't that you don't think gets enough attention?
Oh man, there are just a whole bunch of them. Like I said, I used to do a shout out series just for that whole entire thing. Like people who I liked and they were like crazily under sub. It's like I used to do like a little shout out series, just basically like, you know, like saying what I liked about them and showing their videos. Well, some of the people, you know, were way more popular than what I am right now. Mm-hmm. But some of them, like, you know, they were just starting out just like me, so I just use them, like, you know, like, yeah, this is a great one right here, you know, check out their videos, and I give them a little sample. Well, I give them a little sample of one of the videos they make right there. And that's how you know, a whole lot of people found me. Like, yeah, thanks for your shout out.
That's awesome, man. Because I knew that you had done that. I just didn't, you know, I just wanted to see how you would answer it. Let's see. Is there anything that I've asked you that you wanted to talk about, but I didn't ask it?
I say I don't know. Like we talked about a whole lot of things. Like like the guilty pleasures, the growing up, a lot of right there. Like, you know, like, yeah, the lover of anime. Like, you know, I grew up on cartoons, video games, anime, and all that right there. I think that's what the majority of basically kept me out of trouble. Like, you know, like basically saying it to all those right there.
Yeah, you know, I think that's fantastic, man. Because, you know, it's like I don't know, man. The more that I get into it, you know, it's like you know, I'm from the old school where I have the original VHS cassette of when they released Akira, and not in English. There was no subtitles or anything. You know, so I'm like from that era. You know, it's like and it's so it's really nice to, you know, have guys like you and Viper Sword to come in and kind of, you know, turn me on to some new stuff. Or you know, like I have a cringe fest about, you know. You know what I'm saying, man? Because, you know, hey, it's not all fucking awesome. So, all right, we had talked earlier. Did you, you've got a couple of new channels that you're starting up. Talk about that a little bit, man.
Oh yeah, like these new channels right here, because, you know, like I love the Yo Boy Pat channel while I'm talking like a lot of social issues, but some of them are kind of like really getting it to me to the fact where it's like driving me kind of crazy, so I have to like counter that. So right now it's like me and my daughter, we have one. Well, we're starting one right now. It's called The One and Only. It used to be called It's Just Me, but another person who had the same name with the channel right there kind of got a little butthurt about it, and you know called the YouTube. So we had to end up changing it. So we're starting to get back into those videos right now, which, you know, we made one today. I just have to edit it and have to put it out there.
What kind?
And then plus I have a.
What's the subject matter of that? Tell us a little bit about it.
It's basically us, just like me, my youngest daughter, just going out there, just basically like, we're either doing like little food challenges, or we're going out to like a lot of these restaurants, or doing a lot of things around Texarkana, and just basically like having fun, you know, like just shooting the breeze, you know, like father and daughter.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And more like
the other one.
Yeah, and the other one, like I said, it's called Still the One, where it's like that's kind of like one of the, you know, for mature audiences only, where I just basically talk about a whole lot of these old topics when it comes to like sex and all, you know, all the forbidden stuff that you hardly see on YouTube, but yet you see a whole lot of women talking about these topics and things like that, but you don't see guys. So I'm trying to like give the guys' perspective on that, because anytime you see guys talking about this, you know, they're usually walking on eggshells, you know, like trying not to offend the women. But I'm like, bullshit, I'm gonna tell you my side about this when it comes to like sex and what I think about this and what I think about that.
I like that, because, you know, it's like there's so many people that are just so fucking afraid they're gonna, you know, say the wrong thing, man. It's because of this. You know, it's really weird, man. It's like the left has become the moral majority. You know, and it's just crazy, man. You know.
And for what I'm doing with that one right there is like that one, like I said, besides me, you know, kind of getting a little more like more mature with all that right there, talking about the sex. I took up Tara Sin's, like, you know, like I took up her little suggestion right there to, oh, you should do it without a shirt on. You should oil up your body. I'm like, all right, I warned you. So I told her when I drop down my next video, oh, she's gonna love that one.
That's awesome, man. And the links for these are in the description. So I urge you to check them out, and that way you get caught up while they're new, and you know, it's kind of fun to, like, you know, catch a channel when it's new and to kind of, you know, and to follow it and shit. As the, you know, as the YouTuber and the content, you know, kind of goes on its own journey, man, and it grows on its own. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like, I know I get a lot of suggestions along the way of people talking about, you know, like, you know, you could try this and try that, you know. It's like, I'm still in development, so I'm always open up to, like, new suggestions. And plus, you know, like, so, you know, help me out, you know, just, you know, share, subscribe, help me reach, you know, 1,000 subscribers on each channel, so that way I can really get up out there.
Yep, that's right. And man, believe it or not, we have reached the hour.
And time flies,
dude. This is the damn fastest episode of Ice Cream I've done yet, man.
Now we get to talking and about favorite topics and just.
You're awesome, man. I really like hanging with you, man. See, I'm following my gut on this thing, man, and it's never wrong, you know. You know, so I guess you know, to wrap it up, I just want to say, man, I thank you so much for, you know, taking time out of your schedule, you know, taking time out of your dad time and hanging out with us and letting us, you know, see inside your head and your heart a little bit, man.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, you're such an awesome guy, and I really want to do more stuff with you, YouTube wise. Okay. You know, not like you know, you were talking about earlier. It's like I don't roll that way, but hey, man, I can see why, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that in mind, I guess we're out for today. Any parting words, brother?
That's it. Everybody stay, you know, have fun, stay safe, man, and just, you know, do y'all, man.
That's right.
You only live life once.
Absolutely. So you got any shows coming up that you want to, any days that you drop anything?
I said, right now, it's like, I don't know what not too much right now. I'm just like working on these videos, and, you know, with work right now is whatever I can get whenever I can, you know. Like, hopefully I'll be dropping down my next, like, video on my one channel, Still the One. That should be down on Wednesday.
Cool. Cool. Well, speaking of Wednesday, I'm going to be on the Morning Decay with Rob LeBlanc, and also known as Optic Decay, and my man, The Killing Joke. Thursday, Big Fat Brian and I are going to do hot takes on the movie called A Dark Song, and we'll be doing that 2 hours later. We're moving the show to 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. And then Friday's Creem stream is going to be Suit Yourself. And then a week from today, she has agreed to be on the books as Vamp Kandy herself. So,
yeah. Oh, Lord. I definitely got to get a hold of them.
Yeah, we got to, dude, come on out and we'll hang out, all right?
All right.
All right, and people, y'all have a fantastic week. Just keep up. Be sure to subscribe and you know, and like this thing, because you know, it doesn't cost a penny. It's free. Shit, you know. You know. I mean, hey, you know, what can I say? All right, y'all have a great week, and this is Irate Prostate saying I'm OUT. Pat.
All right, peace.